Believe it or not, the first day of spring is tomorrow. After the brutally cold winter we probably had, you probably know it's hard on everyone. I'm Matt Everson, and coming up, we'll show you the permanent damage the cold could leave on vehicles we rely on every day.
And I'm Beth Ryan. We'll also bring you a live report from the Ralston Arena as UNO gets ready for its first game in the CIT tournament. These stories and more coming up. The Omaha News starts right now.
This is the Omaha News, presented by the School of Communication at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, from the studios of UNO Television.
With March Madness just days away, sports fans across the nation are gearing up for the tournament. Nebraska has 3 men's teams in postseason action, and the UNO Mavericks are making history with their CIT bid this season. Omaha News reporter J.R. Cantor has been following the action. He joins us now live from the Ralston Arena. J.R.?
Thanks, Matt. While Creighton and Nebraska prepare for their games for the NCAA tournament, the University of Nebraska at Omaha is preparing to make history. UNO is the first team to get an at-large bid for the College Insider Tournament after making the transition from Division II to Division I.
While it's an honor to make it to the NCAA tournament, if a team doesn't make it, that doesn't mean that their season is over. The UNO men's basketball team is one of those teams preparing for a postseason turn. While the Mavs only had a record of 16-14 with a 5-9 conference record this last regular season, they were able to make the season worth their while. UNO made history by getting the opportunity to play in the College Insider Tournament. This is the first time in the history of the CIT that a team who has gone through the reclassification process from D2 to D1 has gotten an at-large bid. The Mavs are in year 3 of 4 of this reclassification timeframe. Senior guard Alex Phillips says that the CIT bid is exactly what the team was striving for.
We got what we wanted, you know. We always talked about postseason this summer, postseason. So, now that we have the opportunity to actually play in the postseason, it's a great feeling.
Fellow senior guard Caleb Steffenmeyer says that it's an honor to make it to the tournament and that the Mavs have a shot at making it far in the CIT.
I mean, we proved ourselves in the beginning of the year. We hung with Iowa, hung with UNLV. We hung with some big schools. So, if we can get back to playing like the way we did at the beginning of the year, we certainly have a chance at winning it.
Omaha will take on North Dakota tonight at 7 p.m. They played against UND earlier this year and won 83-75. Only time will tell how far the Mavericks will go in their postseason. If you can't attend the game, you can listen to it online at mavradio.fm or on your smartphone with the TuneIn app, keyword MavRadio. Reporting live from the Ralston Arena for the Omaha News, I'm J.R. Cantor. Back to you guys.
As J.R. mentioned, Nebraska and Creighton also received invitations to play in the NCAA tournament this year, making it the first time that's happened since 1991.
Both the Jayhawks and the Huskers were seated in the West Region San Antonio site. Nebraska takes on the Baylor Bears at 11:40 tomorrow morning. Following that game, Creighton will face the Ragin' Cajuns of Louisiana. Game time for that one set for 2:10 tomorrow afternoon. Both games will air on True TV. Now, if both Creighton and Nebraska win, the two teams will face each other this Sunday.
All 3 Nebraska teams are seemingly flying high right now, but so are some others right here in Omaha, thanks to a new technology that is giving us the opportunity to literally see things as we've never seen them before. Drones, or unmanned aircraft, that can be as small as a bird may soon cover the skies. They were even used to broadcast competitions at this year's Winter Olympics.
So this is a technology that everyone can go out and buy, no matter what price point.
Utilized by the military, envisioned as the future of Amazon shipping, and now accessible to most consumers, drones are enabling a multitude of uses.
In Nebraska, rural farmers can use this to do a survey of the land. Homeowners can use it to check gutters and roofs. Your local pharmacy send a drone that drops a package off at your front door. So there's many utilizations of drones that we're not even dreaming up yet.
Flying these vehicles has become much easier by the integration of multiple technologies.
As long as you can tap a screen with your finger, these drones now can be set to fly along a pre-programmed path. So you just need to flip on a switch, tap your route, and click go.
Even with little regulation for drones in place, these vehicles should be flown with safety in mind.
So it's important to always have a line of sight with the drone, to practice in open spaces before attempting to fly amongst buildings. And also, we stay below an altitude ceiling of 1,000 meters, and that keeps you under the 400-foot airspace limit so you don't run into commercial aircraft. So these are some of the common regulations that you could use to fly these drones.
As with all new technologies, it's important to stay up to date with federal and state regulations. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, in 2013, 13 states have passed laws governing drone use and 11 states have instituted resolutions. Nebraska did not pass any new regulations in 2013.
Shock and sadness in Seattle as 2 perished in a TV news helicopter crash Tuesday. NTSB officials say the news helicopter, leased to KOMO-TV, was making, quote, unusual noises just before the crash. The chopper took off from the station's rooftop helipad just before crashing to the street below, hitting 3 vehicles. The helicopter exploded into flames on impact. Killed in the crash were a longtime KOMO-TV photographer and the helicopter's pilot. Another man in one of the vehicles is in critical condition after receiving severe burns in the explosion.
There's neither a cure nor a treatment for Alzheimer's disease, but as Omaha News reporter Nikita Williams shows us, a new study might have discovered a way to predict the possibility of someone having the illness with one simple blood test.
She would start off by losing time, and then it would become a day, then it would become months.
More than 5 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's disease, a statistic the Reeves family has seen in the flesh.
You get frustrated because the person doesn't realize who you are.
However, scientists possibly found a way to predict when a healthy person will develop the illness, a discovery that Dr. Tomo Kyoto feels will help prevent the illness from occurring in future years.
Alzheimer's disease is incurable at this point, so prediction will be useful to avoid a possibility to get Alzheimer's disease.
Dr. Kyoto says Alzheimer's has been difficult to detect because biomarkers used to diagnose the illness are mainly in the cerebral spinal fluid but not in the bloodstream. But he says a new discovery says a lot about the progression of science.
Current biomarkers are available only for the patients who already get the disease progression. So this is the huge breakthrough.
Alzheimer's is a progressive disease that worsens over time, an aftermath that the Reeves couple knows all too well.
Your life does change, but you develop coping skills, and after all, it's a loved one.
The Reeves says it's important as a family to depend on each other during the critical time.
Because the only person that matters is your mother or father or whoever it is that has this problem.
For the Omaha News, I'm Nikita Williams.
Now, for more information on Alzheimer's or to join a support group, go to alz.org.
Coming up later, see what precautions you can take right now to ensure that your vehicle stays looking good through the final weeks of winter and is still prepared when the cold returns again later this year.
But when we return, we'll bring you 2 updates on the dorm fire that took place on UNO's campus just 3 weeks ago. Learn what effect the blaze has on potentially changing a long-standing policy on the university's campus. These stories and more when the Omaha News continues.
PBS is the place you should go first.
There are no advertisers to be satisfied, only an audience to be satisfied.
We take our responsibility as journalists very seriously. We are constantly thinking about our viewers and what they care about.
We want to let you know what the information is, and then you decide what you want to think.
At the News Hour, we are after the facts and only the facts.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
UNO TV invites you to take a journey around the world. to lush jungles with endangered species, to exotic lands and different cultures, to lost cities beneath the sands. Travel through time to see ancient secrets on the other side of the world, the growth of the American West, or the start of Nebraska's largest city. Or just explore our state. Find out about Nebraska in World War II. Learn how Omaha has grown since. Discover the effort to renovate its green spaces, the history of one of its most impressive buildings, or look at its internationally recognized university. For over 20 years, UNO TV has produced award-winning documentaries that explore, educate, and enlighten. To find out more, call 402-554-2516 or visit unotv.unomaha.edu.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back. Recent apartment fires like the one on UNO South Campus spark the importance of renter's insurance. Reporter Jasmine Thompson joins us live to show that a little extra money each month can go a long way. Jasmine?
Thanks, Beth. Renter's insurance is a very important policy to have. Its importance can be multiplied even greater when disasters like tornadoes, flooding, and fire threaten your property.
Third floor balcony, smoker, didn't quite put the cigarette out, put it out in a plastic flower pot, and we had 40-mile-an-hour winds that day, and it took it up to the leaves in the gutters and caught the roof on fire.
A story many apartment residents know all too well. Multiple apartments like Maple View, Courtyard 72, and more recently, Scott Village at UNO have experienced these damaging fires. And the majority of people were not covered by renter's insurance. So how important is it?
Very important, because it no matter what happens, there's a whole list of things that could happen: fire, theft, a tornado, water damage. So all those things can happen, and obviously all your personal property has got some value to it.
The first thing that went through my mind was, I hope everybody got out okay, and everybody did, and they did a great job of making sure everybody was out. But then the next thing you think about is, well, all my stuff's in there.
So what about the people who don't get renter's insurance simply just because they can't afford it?
It's probably one of the least expensive things that you can get for the amount of coverage that you get. You know, for $12 to $15 a month, you know, you can cover $20,000 to $30,000 worth of personal property.
Moore says the best thing to do is to shop around for different rates. Don't just look for the cheapest policy, though. Those don't always get you the best coverage. Back to you, Matt.
There are some important things to know when considering renter's insurance. According to insweb.com, it's important to remember that landlord's insurance does not cover you in any incident. $30,000 of coverage usually averages out to around $12 a month, and that renter's insurance usually includes liability coverage.
Insurance definitely came in handy for those who had it and were affected by the fire at Scott Village last month. That fire was caused by a cigarette. There are 1,182 smoke-free colleges in the United States, but UNO is not one of them. The UNO fire has made a number of students want to switch to a smoke-free university.
As soon as I got to campus, there was a group of students that were smoking. A gentleman wasn't looking behind him and flicked his cigarette ash, and the wind was blowing, and it just blew everything right all over me.
Corey Canan, president of the Eta Sigma Gamma Honor Society, is attempting to do something no one has done before.
It's really about protecting students' health.
The Eta Sigma Gamma Honor Society, along with members of the UNO student body, are trying to make UNO a completely smoke-free campus. Some students disagree with this campaign.
I feel like there should be designated areas that people can. I think would be a fair, basically, compromise.
But after a discarded cigarette caused a 2-alarm fire at a campus dorm, many students think enough is enough.
I mean, I lost almost all of my belongings. Only a few items were saved from my room. I don't know. I didn't even know what to think. It was scary.
If you've got something to say about our campus going smoke-free, head on over to Smoke Free UNO's Facebook page, where you can write messages and voice your opinions. To make UNO a smoke-free campus, the Eta Sigma Gamma Honor Society would need 1,500 signatures on their petition before they could bring the issue to UNO's Senate. They currently have more than 500 signatures. Coming up on the Omaha News Returns, we'll be joined live on set with Omaha News reporter Nikita Williams.
She'll be talking with an Omaha rap artist who is making a big splash on the Omaha music scene. That's next when we return.
KVNO was in a really interesting place. This Victorian mansion near UNO.
3 floors. The studios were on the 3rd floor.
Bedrooms and bathrooms. So we had a challenge, but we ultimately ended up with an on-air studio.
We soundproofed it with carpet, and actually I think it sounded really warm, very radio friendly.
There were also rumors that the 3rd floor was haunted. Those were the maid's chambers, as we were told.
I had a sink in the office and leaded glass windows which looked out on the stable house in the back.
One colleague talking about having the window open one day, a warm spring or fall day, and a squirrel jumping through the window onto a turntable.
It was a great place, a great ambiance for a fine arts station.
It definitely had a charm to it.
About how you're feeling right now. One thing you would like our viewers to know about this state.
The importance of volunteerism.
What are you saying to folks?
I'm here to discuss these images.
When you can take that knowledge and that expertise and that passion in terms that they're all going to understand.
They need to know the real stories.
I'm Kathy Wyatt. Join us for Consider This each week on NET1.
NET Television expands your mind, enlightens your mind, inspires your mind, educates your mind, entertains your mind. NET Television opens up new worlds to you. Explore, travel, learn, discuss, debate. NET Television keeps you informed. Music, theater, dance, art, news. NET Television awakens your dreams, seeks to serve, strengthens our communities. We are Nebraskans. We are NET Television, Nebraska's PBS station.
You're watching the Omaha News.
Welcome back to the Omaha News. You may have heard some of their sounds around town. Local music artists continue to put Omaha on the map as a nationwide hotspot for emerging artists. Artists like this guy.
Calm and collect, show me my respect, yeah I earned it. Bring the heat like a furnace, spitting bullets, little trigger finger, yeah I pulled it. Of course I'm a little foolish, trust homie, I does this, spitting that saliva like I'm toothless. In the city so ruthless, but I still put on. OMA is my home, never ever gonna forget it, so get back and get with it, and that's real. The words.
That's none other than Omaha's own Skylar Reed, also known as Skyrie. And he's here in our studio with Nikita Williams.
Skyrie was known initially for his photography and videography at the Art Hype. The Omaha native emerged as a rapper and singer in 2011 after dropping his mixtape, Good Music. He intends to bring more attention to the underground hip-hop scene. Thanks for coming with us today.
Thanks for having me. I feel so special.
All right. So I've heard a lot of your music, and but obviously you're a part of the hip hop genre. However, it sounds as though you've been influenced by other genres. Could you explain some of those?
I like rock and roll, man, mostly acoustic rock for the most part. I like The Faint, who's from Omaha. Who else do I like? I like a different bunch of bands. I like White Stripes, like when we was kids, on Cartoon Network. Had that song, it was like na 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 na. So I don't know. I like a lot of stuff. Neo Soul, you name it. I probably enjoy it.
And in the video Magnum, you have cutaways of footage from a movie. So it seems that with that particular video, you were influenced by film. Where do you get your other inspiration for other videos that you've done?
That's a good question. It's kind of random, really. Like I got a pretty weird mind, so I like, you know, martial arts and old school kung fu movies. You know, Bruce Lee is a big inspiration. So why not use some of them clips and put them into my music video? It was just random. I was, you know, I like Afro Samurai, so I call myself the Sunflower Samurai in that Magnum video. I don't know, kind of weird with it.
And also in the Magnum video, the lyrics say it all. You want to be big.
Yeah.
However, underground music doesn't necessarily get the attention it kind of deserves. So what realm would you like to stay in as far as music? Would you rather be underground or mainstream?
You know, personally, you know, that's up to the people. Whoever listens to me, if you mess with me and come out to the shows, like, I remember when I started out, it was like 10 people. Now it's like hundreds, and every now and again, it always switch up. But to answer your question, yeah, like I like to stay in my own lane, really. Just, you mess with me, you mess with me. Like, I feel like Omaha music is growing. Like, we're number 5 outside of NYC, you know, New York City, LA, and Nashville for the top places to be in the world, according to MTV, for upcoming music in all genres. So that's about it for me. Like, as far as that, I stay in my own lane, underground, mainstream, wherever y'all want to take me. That's where I'll be.
And you have a new album that you are working on currently. What's that sound like? How's that sound?
It sounds similar to my old stuff, but it's way different. Me and Infinite Loop, that's my partner in our group called Both. Like, I'm Skyrie of Both. So it's self-entitled. It's called Both, the album. So it comes out April 20th. We're gonna have a release show, all types of stuff for that. So just stay tuned for that, and just expect some dope music from that.
And Omaha isn't really the most happening place as far as getting your music out there. So do you find it more difficult to get your music out there since you do live in Omaha?
I mean, hip hop is hard here. Like, you know, we're well known. Like, people come here from LA to do they like rock and stuff and acoustic, whatever. But hip hop is growing. Like, it's a growing market here. People love music here. It's like home. It's like we got a big city type of situation, but it's a hometown feel when you do your shows, and I think it's a good look. So I think we're cool here.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. If you want to know more about booking Skyrie, you can email his team at staycltrd@gmail.com.
Up next, Omaha news reporter Melissa Ring will show us that keeping our vehicles shiny and bright doesn't just making our cars look good. It can actually have some mechanical benefits as well, especially after the long, cold winter we've experienced. That's next when the Omaha News continues.
To go above.
It was something new.
Or reach beyond.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
When you want to peer inside.
There's something wrong here. This isn't normal.
It would seem almost impossible. Or push the limit.
Large tornado! It's humongous! You need to get out now!
When you want to dive deep.
These divers are like astronauts.
Our human nature is to push into places that we don't know about.
Or go to the edge.
There are other worlds out there.
We don't know exactly what we're going to find.
When you want to find new frontiers.
I was truly astonished.
You just don't ever know.
Nova.
Wednesdays on NET1.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Welcome back. It was a $50 million bond issue that would have helped finance the redevelopment of Crossroads Mall in Omaha. Now it's off the ballot. Tuesday, the Omaha City Council voted 7-0 to remove it from the May ballot completely. Omaha Mayor Jean Stothert had previously voiced her support for the bond, but this week said she had concerns over the bond since its inception, saying the city was moving too fast. Stothert says she still supports the redevelopment of the plans, and developers say they're still hopeful to receive funding help from the city.
The weather is warming up, and that means one thing. It's time to get your car washed and checked out for the seasons to come. Failing to do so can have negative effects on your vehicle. Omaha News reporter Melissa Ring has more on this vital vehicle information.
Our bodies are just like our cars. We all react differently to the different winter elements, summer elements.
The weather's getting warmer and it's time to take your vehicle out of winter hiding and do some spring cleaning. If you haven't washed your car since winter, you may have salt buildup from the roads. This has lasting effects on the outside and underneath the body of your vehicle.
Salt can eat away at your clear coat. What a lot of people don't understand is the salt that's on the road, as well as the brine, which is a de-icing concentrate that's put down by road crews, that can actually start to eat away at the clear coat of your vehicle.
It's not just a car wash that's needed after the winter has subsided. It's also very important to bring your car into a shop and make sure it's in tip-top shape for the warmer months. For this could also have lasting effects on your vehicle.
It can decrease fuel economy and maybe cause severe damage to your engine. Usually you want to do a coolant flush, oil change, and a tire rotation.
Whether it's getting your car washed or having routine maintenance, remember, your car has to take a shower and get a checkup just like you do, because then your car can look this good. For the Omaha News, I'm Melissa Ring.
And whether you choose to wash it by hand or leave it to the pros, it's important to take care of your vehicle because it will last longer and help retain its value. That does it for this edition of the Omaha News. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with all new stories from our reporters.
From all of us here at the Omaha News, good night.
UNO Television gives students a chance to work in a real studio. Working on the TV crew, students get hands-on experience with lights, camera, and action. Working on a variety of shows gives students a leg up looking for jobs. In fact, many former crew members work at local stations. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for students to learn the science and art of TV production. UNO TV, student crew, professional staff, award-winning results.
When will you look deep into space? When will you travel back in time? When will you experience the power of red? When? Anytime. Online at video.netnebraska.org. Search, select, and share with the NET Video Player. Watch our shows on your schedule.
What if there were a neighborhood where every child felt they belonged, and a big dog helped them stay little a little longer? A monkey helped them find the wonder in every little thing, and a flightless bird showed them how to soar. Support the people and programs that never stop asking, what if?